Hey, what is up everybody? Today we're talking about 10 side hustles to help you earn income this year. Now there's a lot of reasons for why you might want to be starting a side hustle. For some of you, you maybe want to join in on the Great Resignation, escape that 9 to 5, have total time freedom, location freedom, live life on your terms. But then for other people who love their 9 to 5, perhaps you want to start a side hustle to help pay off some debts, maybe save some money, or perhaps invest for your future. Did you know that if you earn just $200 extra a week, and you were to invest that $200 into an SP 500 Index fund, earning just 10% interest, you would have $1.8 million over the next 30 years. Now, a really interesting fact I found was that they did a study on 6,000 self-made millionaires. And they found that 65% of self-made millionaires had 3 streams of income. 45% of self-made millionaires had at least 4 streams of income. And 30% of self-made millionaires had 5 or more streams of income. And those streams of income range from earned income, dividend income, rental income, royalty income, capital gains, profits, and interest. So what I want to do today is talk about 10 different side hustles. And these will range in difficulty and how quick you can start making money. So I'll go over each one of those. I'll give some tips and strategies for how to get started with each one of these. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and let's go ahead and talk about 10 different side hustles that we can start right now. So the very first one on our list is to rent a friend. If you love talking to people, meeting people, engaging with people, things like that, then you can actually get paid to be someone's friend. And there's a lot of reasons for why someone might actually want to rent out a friend. They could be new to the neighborhood and are wanting to meet some people. They might have an extra movie ticket or concert ticket or sporting event ticket that they want someone to come along with so they don't go alone. They may actually just need some advice about a particular thing going on in their life and want to talk to someone outside of their normal circle about it. And there's a site, rentafriend.com, and this is actually the largest friend site out there with 621,000 different members. Now it's actually pretty easy to get started and it's completely free if you want to be a friend, but all you're going to do is create a profile, and then from there other people can log in, look at your profile, and if they want to get in contact with you, they can do so. It really requires no skill whatsoever, and you can actually earn quite a bit of money. There are people making $300 to $500 a weekend, up to $2,000 a week. And as of February 2022, they are also offering virtual meetups as well. So if you don't want to meet people in person, you can absolutely just do virtual calls, Skypes, texting, emails, things like that. Okay, so the second side hustle on our list is food delivery. Now there's a lot of different companies and sites out there and apps out there, but some of the most common ones, the most popular ones are going to be Uber Eats, we have DoorDash, we have Postmates, we have Grubhub, Caviar. Food delivery is one of the fastest growing industries out there currently, and it's been growing even faster over the last few years due to the pandemic. Now, according to ZipRecruiter, the bottom 5% of people doing Uber Eats earns about $14.5 thousand a year. The top 1% can earn upwards of $80,000 a year, and the average person is going to earn around $40,000 a year, or around $19 per hour. Now, this is a super easy one to get started with. Once again, you're just going to download an app, you're going to enter in your information, and you can basically get started right away. You want to really focus on peak hours. So I would say during the weeks, you should be focusing between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. and then also between 5 and 9. And of course, any time on the weekend is going to be absolutely phenomenal for earning those extra tips. Try different areas, try different time frames, and see which ones give you the best payouts. Okay, so the third side hustle on our list is retail arbitrage. This strategy has gained a ton of popularity over the years, especially when you have influencers and people like Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V as people know him, that have promoted this, going to like garage sales, finding cheap items, selling it online. Now there's a lot of ways that you can do this, and the earning income potential is basically unlimited. Take this mom for instance, who's earning over 6 figures now after leaving her job. Brian Panetta is another guy who's really famous for starting off with retail arbitrage, and what he used to do was find free or really cheap couches, clean them up, fix them, and then would begin selling it at a higher price. And he built this up eventually to where he had like 4 different storage units, he hired another person to do so, and then eventually it made so much money that he segued into flipping rental properties. Now, in terms of how to get started, there's a lot of ways you can do this. Be sure to check out things like garage sales, clearance items, Facebook Marketplace, where there's all kinds of free stuff, Craigslist. I'd be going through the items, finding what I think could be really good items, and then going on Amazon really quick, seeing what it sells for. And if there's a decent enough profit swing, then at that point I would purchase that item and try to sell it. Sometimes you can make money by simply grabbing someone's item and creating better photos using lighting and better camera angles or better better camera in general. So the fourth side hustle on our list is to become a storage unit. You can actually get paid for the extra space that you have in your apartment or your home. You should definitely check out a website called neighbor.com. And the idea behind this website is that it allows you to utilize extra spare rooms, garages, your driveway, any spare space that you have in your room, and you can rent it out to other people. This is a great way of earning some extra side cash utilizing the space that you already have, especially if you don't want to actually have like a roommate or live with anybody else, but still make some money off of the space that you have. They have a $1 million renter's insurance. You are going to be insured or covered in case any accidents were to happen while a person was renting some space from you. And you could definitely earn quite a bit. It just depends on how much you charge and what the going rates are in your particular area. Okay, so the fifth one on our list is a service-based business. Now this is one of my absolute personal favorites, and this is how I got started with creating side hustles. But the idea behind this is you're gonna take a skill that you already have or one that you're willing to learn, and you're going to create a business out of it. Anything from math tutoring to science to languages to sports or musical instrument. I got started with fitness and nutrition coaching people on how to lose 12 to 24 pounds of fat in 90 days, eating whatever they want. And this was the first time that I started to be able to earn upwards of 6 figures with my side business. Now, like I said, you can do absolutely anything. Take this guy here that lives in New York City who now earns 6 figures a year simply walking dogs. You could clean houses, you could wash cars, you could do detailing, yard work, snow shoveling. Now, my suggestion on how to get started with this is you're gonna simply go around different neighborhoods and start handing out flyers. You could go online to different websites and apps that allow you to list your service or your skills that people can hire you for. Fiverr, TaskRabbit, Upwork. I mean, you can earn anywhere from $10 an hour upwards of $100 an hour plus for your skills or services. The sixth side hustle on our list is Turo. If you have a car that you don't use all the time, you can actually get paid to rent out your car. And it's a great way of taking something that you already own more than likely and simply making some extra money on it. Getting started is really, really simple. First, you're going to clean out your car and make it look really, really nice, or the best that you can. You're gonna create a profile, upload photos of your particular vehicle, and then you can select a price range for how much you want to rent it out for per day. Now, how much you make really does vary on how long you're willing to rent it out for and what kind of vehicle that you have. And they take all kinds of cars ranging from, old Toyotas all the way up to Lamborghinis. Now, something I found really, really interesting is that if you rent out a Jeep Wrangler for just 5 days out of the month, it could actually cover your car note. So if you were really savvy or really wanted to get aggressive with this, you could even go out and get yourself a car and then rent it for a profit. And there are people out there who have 50 car fleets or more earning multiple 6 figures simply using this as a business model or strategy. Okay, so the seventh side hustle on our list is real estate. Now, this is one that really could earn you a lot of money and has earned me over $100,000 over just the last few years alone. Common misconception is that you have to have a lot of money to get into real estate, and that simply isn't the case. Some simple ways of getting started into real estate is things like wholesaling or becoming a real estate agent where you can help people buy and sell homes and make extra money. Without going into a lot of detail, I'm going to leave a link below in the description box to a strategy that I use that allowed me to get a property basically using none of my own money, putting just a little bit of money into fixing it up, and eventually making this into $200,000 plus a couple $1,000s in passive income every single month. So be sure to check that video out. Whether you're gonna wholesale and simply help connect buyers and sellers together, or simply the fact of like putting a little bit of money in, getting hard money loans or loans in general, getting a property, fixing it up and selling it, or using it as a rental property. There are all kinds of ways of making money in real estate. So the next side hustle on our list is kind of an unusual one, but one I'm actually finding pretty exciting, and that is glamping. There's a lot of people who live in really big cities, whether it's like New York or San Francisco, LA, Miami, all these different places, and they want to be able to get away from the city and go to more of a remote place and have a very kind of glorified camping experience, whether that's in a like kind of really decked out sort of RV or mobile home or trailer, or simply in a really lavish tent. And so one of the things that you could do if you happen to have a bit of land to the property that you live in is that you could actually create a glamping experience for other people. Now, in just a second, I'm gonna explain a strategy that you could use if you don't have land, but essentially what you do is you would simply get like a tent or create some sort of environment where you could go on Airbnb or other different types of websites and actually post as a glamping experience. Now, of course, I'm sure most of you watching are saying, okay, I don't have a bunch of land to do something like this. There's a lot of other strategies that I would suggest. Number one is find someone who does have a little bit of land or some woods or something and say, hey, I'm willing to cut you a little bit of profit of this business I'm starting to create if you'd be willing to let me use some of your land, or you could even just rent out the land to from someone, pay them a little bit of money and just give them a portion of your profits. Other things that could be cool is if you have like a national park near you, you could go to them and see if there's a way that you could barter, you know, kind of a deal where they get some of the profits or something like that for utilizing some space. But glamping is a very awesome way of making some money. In fact, some of the people that are doing this are earning 80% margins and making upwards of 6 figures or more a year. Now, the next side hustle on our list is also a very peculiar one, and that is creating a microgreens business. This is something that's kind of niche and something that a lot of people don't really know about. Simply growing things like wheatgrass, sprouts, or things like that and selling them online. In terms of how to get started, it's actually pretty simple. You could go on YouTube. There's all kinds of channels and videos where people talk about how to start your own microgreens business. There'll be a few items like some growing lamps and things like that that you need, but the startup cost is really, really minimal, and you could actually have a pretty good upside potential with that. Now, in terms of how you'd want to build or grow this business, there's all kinds of Facebook community groups, also getting close to your local health stores, talking with people and engaging, business cards, things like that will help you begin to grow your business over time. You can even create YouTube videos that you could begin talking about the importance of why you should have microgreens in your diet. Okay, and the final side hustle on the list are for those people who have some extra money set aside. They're trying to find some ways of utilizing it, and that is simply using some high interest savings accounts. Now, I've posted a lot of videos on my channel before about high interest savings accounts ranging anywhere from like 4 to 5% all the way up to 20% APY or high yield on your money. So I will leave some links below in the description box to those different videos, so be sure to check that out. But one of the best ones out there that is a bit higher risk is one called Anchor Protocol that can help you earn upwards of 19% yield on your money in a year. Essentially what you're doing is you're converting your money into a stable coin, and that stable coin is being lent out to over collateralized users or people who are needing to borrow money. Now, like I said, it is kind of risky, but the good news is that they just recently came out with an insurance plan that only costs a couple percent. I think it's like 2 or 3%, and so that actually mitigates your risk. We have some other things like Gemini Earn, which is a really phenomenal way of getting high interest, upwards of 8% return with a much lower risk profile than even something like Anchor Protocol. But I have a lot of different suggestions in other videos, so be sure to check that out as well. But those are 10 side hustles. If you haven't done so already and this video was some value to you, please be sure to smash the like button, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. This just lets the YouTube algorithm know this video is useful and that other people might really enjoy this, or it could be information they could really utilize. But let's get out there and let's build that dream.